I grew up in Greeley, Colorado, which is on the Eastern Plains High Desert Plateau. I lived there until I was about 12 years old, and then my father moved us to Minnesota, and I've been living in Minnesota since then. When I was at the university here, I was involved in lots of things, lots of student organizations. I involved myself as a volunteer at the LGBT Center, and the work that I had here on campus was also very valuable to my experience beyond just my class time. My graduate assistantship was in the Women's Center. I also worked on campus in the Affirmative Action Office, as well as doing the student fundraising telethon. I think one of the most amazing things that happened here was when Sydney Smith was the programming coordinator at the LGBT Center before there was professional staff appointed there. It happened to be during the time when Matthew Shepard was murdered, and at that point, for his memorial at this university, they flew the rainbow flag on the flagpole, and it was really an amazing thing to see the GLBT pride flag hung on the university flagpole. Another person that was really vital to my development as a professional was Deirdre Rosenfeld, who was the director of the Women's Center at the time that I was here. And of course, there's just an amazing staff presence in the Women's Studies department, too. At the time I was here, Carol Perkins was the chair, and she was very impactful in my development, both as a student and as a professional. I opened the Smitten Kitten with 2 other co-founders, and that's been about 7 years ago. Part of the mission of the Smitten Kitten has always been community support. We spend a lot of time doing fundraising for different organizations, primarily HIV, AIDS organizations, queer youth organizations, or organizations that help to end violence against women and children. For that work, we were honored by the Twin Cities GLBT Chamber of Commerce, called the Twin Cities Quorum, with the Community Leadership Award. I was named 2009 Young Entrepreneur of the Year by Minneapolis-St. Paul Business Journal. One of the most important people in my life and a constant support person who's in my corner all the time is my partner, Kathy Davis. And of course, the most significant, life-changing, amazing little soul in my life is my son, Tommy. The adult industry has been plagued by poor quality materials. The same issues, children's toys that are made of materials that are not safe. Often, the adult industry experiences the same problems, only exponentially worse. So when the Smitten Kitten opened in 2003, this problem had not been explored publicly or outside of industry executive doors at all. And I opened the first consumer advocacy and industry education organization in the world called the Coalition Against Toxic Toys. We have a national plan to open Smitten Kitten stores in landmark locations. Live part-time in Denver, Colorado, as I open a second location for my store. We have done business on every continent in the world except for Antarctica. So I'm waiting for our first Antarctic order. Maybe some of those scientists will get cold and bored up there. This experience in the Women's Center, this experience volunteering in the LGBT Center, this experience working with the Women's Studies Student Organization, those were all things that, in addition to my coursework in class, really prepared me for the success I have today. And I know that had I not had those experiences or taken that time outside of class to be more involved in the university, I wouldn't be as successful as I am today.